Morning, everybody. I want to welcome you all. Must be a beautiful day outside because I'm not meeting for all the chairs like we did with the last meeting, so something must be going on. But I welcome those of you who came. You're in for some exciting information, so look forward to that. Want to get going? Mr. Turcotte, would you please come up here and lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance? He has the right voice to lead us in anything.
All rise. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Madam Secretary, do we have a quorum? Great. Well, I'm gonna go over here. We have our executive committee sitting up front here. Okay, if you guys would stand up for 1 second and just wave at the crowd. Vienna, Janet. Past presidents, I think they're absent today except for Janice, who's the floor reps are our council members, and they are being worked very hard as council members. You see them up there. I'm not going to go through each one individually, but these are the council members for the BC ring. You can't hear me? Okay. Council members for Garfield Terrace. Great job, guys. Really have been. Lots of new move-ins. They've been working with them, keeping aware of things, keeping me in my place. Now we have our committee chairs. Our committees are really the backbone of your rec. They're the ones that really make things happen. They work with the individual directors, and they go around, and you can see Carol O'Brien, Janet Blacksher, Bill Turcotte, Anita Ciota, Judy Smith, Al Robbins, Marty O'Neill, Janet Warren, Etha Jones, Ron Carter, Joe Birnbaum, Diane Bergman. You notice a lot of these people, some of them are on the rec council as well, serving double or triple duty in many cases. So they care about what's happening, and I thank them. It's been an interesting couple of months, but since you've been here, but an interesting month. Primarily this past month, I've spent a lot of time with Angie talking about transportation after hours. Fortunately, that's resolved, but there were issues in getting the rides after hours and how that's going to happen. If you've seen all the memos go out, you now know that if it's after hours and you need transportation and you have to enter that transportation, you can call the front desk. They have accounts with Lyft and Uber. They will arrange for them to pick you up. When they pick you up, you will sign a receipt. That receipt gets sent to corporate account here, Freedom Plaza. It then will be rebilled to you. If your doctor appointment is supposed to end at 4:30 and they're picking you up and it's 4:45 and you're still on the road at 5 o'clock, they're not going to stop the car and throw you out. They're still going to bring you back. They're not going to call Uber. The idea is, though, please try and book your appointments accordingly so that it may end in the normal hours. The drivers who they have currently do not want to work after hours anymore, even though they were being paid extra money to be on call and paid overtime hours. They don't want to do that, so other arrangements were made. Took a while to figure out the best way to try and handle it. I hope you guys are reasonably pleased that we at least have a plan in place. Your contract calls for transportation during normal business hours, and we certainly wanted to handle that. Plus, if there's some major exceptions, if you meet with Angie and talk to her, maybe you have somebody who's going to be extended stay in the hospital, you need some rides back later, whatever, talk to her about it. She'll do her best to try and make those exceptions. They're not out to try and get you, but they got to live within the bounds they can live within. So that's been a lot of the time I spent. I also have a speaker coming up this month in place of Angie, who I have been very, very proud to work with. So when she gets up here, maybe you'll see why. In fact, let me bring her up now. I will push the little button. Oh, that's me. There we go. Iris Martin is our new director of marketing. She has brought a lot of wonderful, fresh ideas to this place. Marketing is a very, very key issue for all of us. If we don't fill our units with new residents, you'll notice a difference in service because there won't be money coming in. And we need money coming in, which is happening now, but we need it to continue to happen. So I'm going to let her tell you some of the things she's doing, and maybe you guys can think of a lot of questions to ask her.
Thank you. Can you hear me? Okay, I'm going to try to talk like Mr. Turk thought. Make this interesting. No, I'm so proud to represent Freedom Plaza at the different events that we're doing. We're doing a lot of outreach, networking back in Sun City Center proper, but also reaching out past Sun City Center as well, just to get name recognition out there. We are actively marketing to Sarasota County, to Manatee County, Hillsborough County, and with the help of a lot of wonderful people that live here, we've identified some targeted zip codes that have the median income that is required to live at Freedom Plaza. So instead of just, I call it throwing something out at the wall and seeing what sticks, we're really doing targeted campaigns. Specifically, last month or earlier this month, we did a Valencia Lakes luncheon that hosted 33 people. So it was a lunch and a tour of the community. And thank you so much to the lovely residents that opened their apartment homes and let us traipse through. So it was a group tour, and out of that particular group, we have netted 3 deposits, with 2 of those closing by the end of this quarter. So I'm very, very excited about that. It's all towards the fabulous marketing or sales team that we have here at Freedom Plaza, which is very unique. And then also June 5th, I am speaking at Valencia Lakes itself to the military group there. Approximately 140 people. I'll have the opportunity to get in front of and discuss with them what Freedom Plaza offers and why it's imperative that you do it now. That is the first thing that we hear as salespeople. I'm not ready, or I'm just starting to look. And after a really good conversation with Mr. Sweet, he gave me some fabulous advice. And so I have now made this part of my PowerPoint presentation. What are you not ready for? Pickleball courts in your backyard, a golf course in your backyard, activities that are endless, not only on our beautiful 140-acre campus, but as well as Sun City Center itself. So I've made a whole presentation about that, so I owe you a lot for that. Also, wanted to let you know, if you had not heard, 2 of our sales counselors went to what is called the Chairman's Club and were celebrated as 2 of the top sellers in the company. So they hosted an event at Key West for Kat Pinson and Christina Moran. And that is a huge, huge honor. The ladies really come in and work very hard for you to build your community. So I cannot stress enough to them. So if you see them and you think about it, be sure to say congratulations to them. We also, with a lot of help from RAC committee and then also Sarah Chambers and other members of the ambassador committee, there is a time when we are working with a client, they deposit, and then you get nervous, you get scared, and that's always a crucial time that somebody can decide to back out. So we wanted to identify that and close that gap during that interim time. So graciously, the Ambassador Club has developed Freedom Friends. So they close that gap of time and make depositors feel very welcome, start introducing them into the community. And statistics show that you decrease the opportunity for someone to back out and rescind their application by at least 52%. So it's so normal to feel that trepidation of it's easier to stay in my home, it's familiar, it's this. So again, it is a marketing tool, but it's more of a human kindness tool. We've been there, we understand. So change is scary and change is hard. So I'm really, really thrilled that we have that it's just a smooth, ideally, it's a smooth transition from Freedom Friends to the RAC reps. Very, very proud of that collaboration here. We also had a phenomenal event last night at Plaza Club. We had 27 guests total, and it was a panel of current residents Ask the Experts. So everybody that participated in that, thank you. I've heard more positive feedback from that event last night because your words are so impactful to your peers. When people come in and meet with us, sometimes you have a little bit of a barrier of, it's your job to sell, it's your job to say the community is wonderful. But when you are willing to be transparent and vulnerable and share your stories, it means so much more. We have 3 scheduled tours as of this morning from that event just last night. So clap for yourself because you did it. You really did. So thank you. Also, we're changing our marketing up just a little bit. We're going to continue with the traditional marketing and expanding it, the direct mailers, the newspapers, the local outreach, etc. We're also, as a company, expanding our digital outreach because essentially in this time, in this industry, we're merging 2 different generations almost. So we're trying to, LCS, our management company, is very forward thinking in that. That's one of the things that I discussed with the CEO of the company. How are they meeting that, what they're calling the senior tsunami? Because this other group that wants to be shown the value of a life care plan, they speak to each other in a different way than maybe a different generation does. So it's a lot of digital, it's a lot of interaction on our website, and we also have some really good new marketing tools at our disposal that is being implemented now. But again, without your support And without this community being fabulous, and I don't say that lightly, it really is a stunning, wonderful, collaborative community between staff and the people that live here. So it's made my job so much easier, and I appreciate each and every one of you. I think, I believe that does, actually, nope, I'm wrong. I wanted to let you also know the resident referral program is still active, ongoing. You are the best source for our referrals. The process is that if someone comes in, they give us your name, or you call the sales counselor or Tiffany or Renee and let them know that you are referring someone so that we can attach your name to that particular account. Once they move in, you will get a $5,000 credit on your monthly service fee. And I did confirm that with Dennis. I know there was some, I did confirm that with Dennis, the Director of Finance, that there was some, I guess some people were given a check, some people were given credit, but it is going to be a credit on your monthly service fee. So that is an exciting incentive to encourage you to refer anybody that you might want to build your community with. I think at that point, we've discussed the marketing strategies, actively working a database, and really it's just going and growing from here. We're scheduled as of today for our second quarter to have 9 closings. We have a goal, a company goal of 12, which I have no doubt will meet that. Second quarter closes the end of June. And then I've set a goal for our staff of 14. So honestly, that would be a little scary at any other community, but with the ladies and this community, it's achievable. So working hard for you. I'm here. If you have any suggestions, ideas, anything you want to try, my door is open.
What's your background?
My background is I went to college at the University of Texas. I played softball, so I do have a competitive nature, and sometimes that comes out a lot. But I managed in Oklahoma City for about 18 years neurology and neurosurgery clinics. So I had the Neuroscience Institute there, and then when my husband and I decided to move back to Florida, I was going to take a smaller job, not have so much responsibility, and I fell into senior living. A year later, I started out as a director. I've been a sales counselor, and I've also done all spectrums of the industry. So I've done month-to-month rental, I've done life care plans, type B, type A. So I feel very confident whenever I speak to people and say the only type of contract for a life care plan community that I would ever refer my family members to is a type A contract, truly. So that is kind of myself in a nutshell, and I hope that covers what you were asking. Yes? So your question was,
the referral fee. It used to be they paid it in a check, then you had a 1099 at the end of the year. Since they're giving you a credit, you still get the 1099.
you know what? I don't have knowledge of that, but there's several shaking their heads yes. But I will confirm that with Dennis. He is much smarter than I am with that area, but I'll confirm that and let you know. Any other questions? Suggestions?
Ask questions, now's the time. So are we above 90% occupancy yet?
We're very, very close. I'm very cautious before I say yes, but let's talk again after this quarter. And we'll have a big celebration.
Does the $5,000 end soon, or is it continuous?
So I have submitted approval to continue that after this quarter. So I will let you know As of today, it ends June 31st.
So if somebody has somebody, they better get them into you quickly.
Correct. Correct.
Other questions? Okay. Thank you so much. It really is a difference working with Iris and what she's doing and her fresh ideas and so forth. She was a major add, I think, to the Freedom Plaza director staff. Don, can you, oh, I'm trying. Don, would you hit the next slide button? Beyond that? Okay. Now I'd like to bring up Vienna Cape to talk about the RAC committee membership. This is the time of the year when people get to pick what committees they'd like to be on.
Yeah. Okay. Good morning, everybody. Well, every year about this time, we look for residents who are interested in being involved in a RAC committee. How many of you are already on a committee? Raise your hands. Several. How many are thinking about being on a committee, or maybe have already sent in their forms? There's a few. Good. Well, it's an excellent way to meet other residents who have the same interests you do and to learn about Freedom Plaza, especially if you're a new resident. It's also a good opportunity to get your voice heard on different matters. Those of you who come regularly to these meetings know that a couple of committees chairs give a short presentation explaining how their committee works with management and residents to make sure things at living at Freedom Plaza is a fun and relaxed place to live. The committees to choose from are, and Don, can you put the next? Oh, no, go back, there you go. This is a list of the committees that you have an opportunity to work with, and you'll see the new committee, the new Resident Orientation Committee, is the one that's going to be working with the marketing department and RAC to provide necessary information and assistance to ensure new residents have a smooth transition into our community. You should have received an application for RAC committee membership in your mailbox a few days ago, and you could advance that that's what it looks like. And if you're interested in being on one of these committees, please complete the application and return it to me in apartment 421 by June the 9th. And then the next slide, please. And this is the racrep.org, and you can see the arrow going to the button up there. You can also click on that, and then I think there's a second button there you can click on that says RAC, Join RAC Committee, and you can enter your information on that, and it'll go to me and to Ron. If you're already a member of a committee and you plan to continue, you don't need to fill out one of these volunteer forms, because unless you're going to quit one committee and are interested in other committees, you'll remain on that particular committee. And if you have any questions about a particular committee, you can call the committee chairman, and their names and phone numbers are listed on racrep.org. And the committee minutes are also on racrep.org, so you can read those to see what each committee does. So talk to your neighbors and friends about joining a committee. We have over 100 residents that are currently giving an hour or two of their time each month to make this place the best it can be. Join them by completing an application and returning it to me or through racrep.org by June 9th. Thank you.
committees are truly the backbone of this place, as I mentioned at the beginning of this talk. They are the ones that are working with each director. You really, if you're on a committee, you really can make a difference in the life of everybody, and you do have impact. You get your voice heard. In addition, you get to know your neighbors better. You get to work with them. So it's really, when you put down to join a committee, if you can make it on that committee, because committees are limited to number of people, but if there's room for you, they will invite you in. If you're not invited in at the beginning, they'll let you know that you'll be put on a kind of a wait list, which we call a bank. So really, thanks. Anybody have any questions about committees? Okay, moving on. I'd like to bring up Carol O'Brien from a committee. She's going to tell you about committee she is chair of. Maybe tell us
I do like working with the committee. For those of you that don't know me, I've been here 6 years, and my name's Carol O'Brien, and I'm in charge of the Administrative Services Committee. And can you click? Here are the members of my team. It's a great team. I've got to get somebody there to be my secretary, because Ardette is going to be, she's going to stay on the committee, but not a secretary. Next slide, please. Here are our administrative services and what we work. We work with the Director of Administrative Services to ensure the operations and procedures from the front desk, transportation and security and safety at Freedom Plaza. And we constantly review all the different things that we do within all of those departments. And we collect resident concerns. If somebody comes to us with a concern, we address it. And we work with management. It's very easy to get inside to talk to Angie or any of the other directors. And then, of course, we provide minutes to the REC Executive Committee. Next slide, please. All right, this is the front desk. I think you'll recognize most of those people. You've got Tabor and Cynthia and Amanda. And these are all the different things they do on while they're at the front desk. They check in the visitors on AccuShield. They monitor assurance for resident emergencies. They address any questions of visitors, residents, and vendors. They keep the front circle clear for emergency vehicles. They call for the tram to help transport residents around the campus. They answer the phones. They check the cameras in the hallways, the doors, the pool, the parking lots, all exit doors, including the dining room doors, the auditorium, GBT, golf carts, assist with emergencies, including medical sheets, and lock down the elevators. They monitor residents who are on and off campus. If you go off campus, you're supposed to fill out a piece of paper so that they know that you're going to be gone. Make reservations for the guest rooms. Monitor fire alarms covered by advanced engineering system. And contacted by tram drivers if there's something amiss. You notice they're driving around a lot more now. And I certainly noticed them a lot more than I have in the past. And they maintain the welcome sign announcing activities of the day or a funny saying. And I love their sayings. They do a great job. Next slide, please. Here we have safety and security. We have Dennis, he's just started the last couple months, and we have Bill and Jerome. And our drivers observe the entire campus and report any unusual activities to the front desk. They monitor all the cameras located within the campus are maintained and monitored with them. That includes cameras inside and outside of the buildings. They're also responsible for securing all doors on the campus, securing vehicle parking as well as commercial vehicles. They contact the local police if necessary. And last but not least, transportation. Normal hours are from 7 to 5. They maintain the necessary number of vehicles needed for Freedom Plaza, including cars, buses, and cars that can accommodate a motorized vehicle. If they interview candidates as possible drivers, they make sure the vehicles are clean and up to date on services needed, such as oil change, etc. They schedule transportation to a doctor, a dentist, etc. Maintain a schedule of trips to grocery stores on Mondays and Thursdays, once in the morning and once in the evening. And right now they have it located, it's right outside the transportation office, and you can just sign your name up for when you want to go. Let's see, provide transportation to churches on Sunday, and then new, starting Monday, June 5th, I think you all have heard about this, if you need transportation outside the normal business hours, Freedom Plaza has worked with Uber and Lyft to help residents get to some after-hour activities, such as a trip to the airport. All you have to do is call transportation or the front desk to arrange for a ride, and the cost will be put on your monthly bill. I know somebody that is so excited to do that they got there, as soon as they saw the announcement, they got a trip to go to the airport at 11:30 at night by going to transportation, and they've already arranged it for her.
Excuse me.
Oh, and can we go to one more slide, please?
Question.
Okay.
What is the cost, the approximate cost of an Uber? I have no idea.
You know, I don't know what the cost is. I was told it's approximately $70. And then what theoretically, we think, put a tip on there. Now, if you want to tip them additional, that's fine. But you don't need to have a credit card with you. It'll be put right on your bill. And the last thing I wanted, yes, go ahead.
Where the Ubers and the Lyfts are coming from? Are they coming from Brandon?
Wherever they can get them. Because I don't know how many drivers they have for Lyft or, Uber within this area. I don't know.
Are there any within this area? Does anybody?
I don't know. This is all new to me.
Okay, I guess my concern is that we are paying, I'm assuming, the fee to get them from point A, wherever they are, to point B, where we are. And if they're coming from Brandon, that's a lot of money. No, Al? Okay, well, how does
There
it
are
work?
local Uber drivers in town here. I have seen them. I have seen their cars parked around. So I don't know which one you got. The $70 fee would be to the airport,
Yes.
not $70 to go from Brandon back to here or something like that. So
Right.
Okay.
Oh, got another question. Question.
I have a comment.
Hold on, I'm gonna bring a microphone so everybody can hear you.
Just a comment about Uber. I have my own Uber account, and on occasion I've just checked it to see how it would work to go to the airport. And as you said, it's approximately $70, and they can usually be here. I say I want to go from my address to Tampa Airport within 15 minutes. Now, I've never tried scheduling in advance because I'm not that far along, but periodically I just check on my account, and they are relatively local. They're not coming from Brandon,
Yeah.
at least when I've checked.
And if you haven't used Uber before, I did have to use it recently, and it worked well. Because you get a picture of who's coming, their license plate, and everything else. And that way you also know that you're getting into the proper car. Well,
This is a question perhaps for Jeff. I don't know if Jeff is
Jeff's
here.
not here.
But it comes under the jurisdiction of your committee. How frequently does security visit around all of the doors and buildings on the campus during the night?
I'm just gonna tell you what I have been told, that this is done daily, and it has to be done by a certain time. I don't know what the time is, but I forgot to mention something else. We have a task force for security. There's 5 of us on it, and we've been working with Deputy Mary. And we have our next meeting June 9th. And then there will be a PowerPoint presentation come the month of July that Larry Chambers, one of our members, is working on. And that'll be done sometime in July. But as far as, I've been informed that they're checked daily. And there's a certain
My concern is that during the night, how often does security come around to all of the buildings, garages on GVT, and through the parking area for the people who park under the canopies here? To have the security come around and check, because apparently there's been some vandalism or thefts. And this is a concern, I think, to all of us. If we can find out how often they do come around, and if they do ride all through the night, not just one or two times.
Can you get us that answer?
I will find out that answer for you and let you know. Get back to you.
Thank you.
Okay, wait a minute. Janice has.
I have seen them drive around during the night. When I am up reading out on my own night, I see them go around. It's about once every couple hours at least.
Yeah, that's,
They don't drive real slow, but they do drive through.
yes. And they drive through the parking lots too. But go ahead, Janice. Janice wants to make a comment.
Okay, I live in GBT. I am the age right now where some nights I don't sleep all night. And as I told a poor guy that comes around all night long on the midnight run, I said, you know that light that's on, that's mine, because I happen to have an apartment that faces the front. And I've also told them how much it makes me happy. If any of you have seen the vehicle that they're using, they got the rack across the top. I can sit there and look out my window and I see that vehicle with the rack and I said, oh my God, there's a security guard now. I can almost time him. And then we also at one time had an alligator visiting us right at the front door. And thanks to the driver, he got all, and there were 4 police cars that came to get rid of that alligator that evening. I happened to witness the whole thing from the 3rd floor. But you know, if you're afraid of what's happening over at GBT, how often they've got to check those doors and what they do, they are patrolling.
Yeah.
I have a comment.
I live at GVT. I'm on the 1st floor. And I was asked to allow the alarm people to get into my apartment. I left on a Friday afternoon and got in late on Monday. Both of my garage doors were wide open. That leads directly into my house because I'm on the 1st floor. That doesn't go into a public hallway. So for a number of hours, it could have been anywhere from Friday afternoon or Monday. No one really knows for sure how long those doors were left open. I reported it when I got home late that night. I was a little bit scared about going into my apartment when I found both of the doors that go into there wide open and late at night and dark.
I don't really know how to respond to that.
No one else did either when I reported it.
Well, I mean, you let the front desk know? Did you by chance call Angie and tell her? I would, that should not have happened.
It should not have happened, but it also points up a big lack of security. If doors are open, even if security saw them, they wouldn't do anything. And when I had a golf cart stolen, one of the drivers said a month or so later, told me, oh, I saw a golf cart leaving here late at night. I said, well, did you take a picture of the license plate? No, I didn't have a phone that would take a picture.
Well, yours is not the only one that's been stolen. But what I'm saying is, I don't even have a golf cart, but I know, because I've listened to enough people, that if you have like an easy go-kart and you have a key, you can start any of those. So you have to take some responsibility yourself, and you need to put a lock on your steering wheel, or some other system. Pardon me?
You need to rekey them.
Rekey,
Universal key.
need to rekey them is what he said.
Oh, yes, thank you.
You have your specific.
Exactly. You can rekey your golf cart for approximately $150, and Jeff has offered to bring somebody in if there's enough people that would like to get their cars rekeyed, so that the only you would be the only one to be able to drive it. Whereas right now, a lot of you that have golf carts, you could probably go to anybody's golf cart and drive it away.
Harold, that is diverting from the issue of the frequency or security to come around during the night.
And we're
We
gonna,
do something. The thing is, we need to do something, not just know
Carol,
that it's there.
like you said, you're gonna find out and get them an answer,
Yes.
how often they come around.
I will find out.
And I think please also bring up the point that if they see an open garage at night, they need to notify the resident that they left their garage open, or if the resident's not there, then they need to close it.
That includes parking under the canopies here for the people in this building.
Well, they do drive through the parking lots.
But the frequency, how often during the night?
I will find out for you.
Thank you.
Okay, no problem.
Hey, on the subject of the garage door opening,
Pardon me?
on the subject of the garage door opening, I had a problem when I lived in New Jersey when all of a sudden my garage doors open. What happened is you leave your house and somebody happens to have a car with a remote. If it hits your frequency, after you're gone, it will open your garage door. I always advise everybody, if you're going on vacation, turn off the switch so that the odds of it happening go way down. But it will happen that somebody will have a remote for either their door or their car, and it will open your garage door.
One more question, just need to move on.
Cadillac converters or any problems with cars and has there been any problem with Cadillac converters being stolen or any other issues?
Not that I've been made aware of.
Here?
Any other questions? Okay, this is the last slide, and I just want to show you, it's so easy to get transportation. All you have to do is go on to Rack Rep and hit that transportation request. And the form comes right up, you fill it out, and I know I've talked to transportation, and one of the biggest problems is the members do not put down the name of the doctor, nor where the doctor is located. So that causes a lot of confusion. So please, make it easy for transportation, and they do try to check for duplicates, because some people forget that they've already gotten a reservation and they put 3 of them in there at one time. So, anyway, all right, if nobody has any more questions, I'm gonna pass this on. Ron.
Carl, thank you so much. Next committee reporting will be housekeeping. Housekeeping is not maintenance, and will you address that?
Yes, sir.
Lisa Jones, our chair of our housekeeping committee.
Yes, Ron and I were just talking about that. There's a real fluctuation between maintenance and housekeeping. Maybe the way to think about it is it's housekeeping if it's cleaning something. It's maintenance if it's a repair or a replacement. Now, I know that's still not probably helpful for everything, but try to think about that, should you contact housekeeping or should you contact maintenance? I know I saw a housekeeping request a couple weeks ago, and someone's toilet was not working, and they sent it to housekeeping. That's maintenance, folks, That's something that has to be repaired. Okay, go back, well, yeah, thank you. The people we work with are Martha, Carrie, and Emmy, and they are super. I don't know if you've had any contact with them, but they are really great. If you fill out a form or you call one of them, it's taken care of as soon as they possibly can. They are really, really good. I know a couple months ago, I don't know how long ago it was, they had the whole housekeeping committee, or all the housekeeping keepers here, and you met them, and we really are very fortunate. We have a lot of really great ladies and some gentlemen on our housekeeping committee who really do a super job. Okay, next. Okay, our mission statement. Our committee is a little bit differently because we assign inspectors to common areas. In other words, we have someone on each floor and someone at each building of GBT that check on that floor and go through and check and make sure things are going and relay to the housekeeping people. And we have a meeting once a month to discuss it, but usually by the time we send in our report and then a couple weeks later we have our meeting, everything's taken care of. It was on their report if there were problems. They've already taken care of everything. Which talks about number 2, we provide prompt attention to that. We provide our inspection reports, we send them to Martha or Emmy, and like I said, often by the time we meet on the second Wednesday, these problems have been resolved, if they can, if there's something that can be resolved that quickly. So, okay, now here's our committee. If anybody is in building 8, Phil is going off the committee because he's used up all his time. So we hate to lose him, but he's going off the committee. So building 8, we need someone. Our committee's a little different. You know, usually you sign up for a committee, doesn't matter where you live or whatever. If you can get on that committee, you can get on it. We need people on specific floors or buildings, or if you're willing to go. For instance, we have someone on the 7th floor who does the 1st floor. He's willing to do the 1st floor. That's not always the case. And same thing with GBT buildings. If you're willing to go to another building and inspect, that's fine. But not everyone is willing to go all the time to another building or another floor. So if that brings up a problem on our committee because we can't always find a person to go to that floor or that building. So the other problem that we have had, which is I know an ongoing one you don't want to hear again, is the trash rooms. I have one comment that might help you. If you're in doubt whether something is recyclable or not, if you're in doubt, throw it out. It doesn't matter if one thing that could be recyclable is thrown out. It's a lot more damaging if something that can't be recyclable is thrown in the recyclables and ruins a whole batch. None of that can go to recycling, then it all has to be thrown out. So if you're wondering, is this recyclable? Can I put this in the recyclable bin? If you're really questioning it, just put it in the garbage, don't worry about it. Makes it simple. The trash room is probably our toughest portion. Now, I should have said, we obviously don't go into apartments. We do only the public areas. Places like this room that everybody is in. We don't do anything with your apartment. Your apartment is your own problem. Contact through Rock Rep, speak Letha, or call Emmy or Martha or Carrie if you have a problem in your apartment, or talk to your housekeeper when she comes in, I'll say she comes to your apartment. Any questions? Like I said, one thing I did say, is there anybody for here from my committee? Stand up and we'll recognize you because my committee's great. Anybody? Alice, stand up. Okay, thank you. Yeah, we have a super committee, so they are great. And if you have questions, in your little booklet, it tells you who's on the committee for your floor or building. Contact them if you have a problem. Thank you.
Bill, would you like to come up? I know you had a comment you wanted to make about.
I just wanted to share today, we put out the flags all the way down the boulevard there. And I say we, the we was there are a few rock residents who participated in that. But the majority of the work was done by our maintenance committee. We did it in a half an hour, and those guys were fantastic. So let's give them a round of applause. Thank you.
Along the same lines, we all lived through this water emergency this week. I know everybody got memos and phone calls. Well, when that happened, I had gotten notification from Hillsborough County because I'm on their list. And I got it probably the same time they got it here. And by the time I got it to the third floor to find out what we're doing about it, they were already sitting down, they were already meeting, they were laying out a plan for us, laying out a plan for dining. I think they did a fantastic job. Angie wasn't here, but man, they were right on top of it, and I commend all the directors and their staff for reacting so quickly to an emergency situation that came up. It isn't like a hurricane where they planned for 3 days before it came. This was something, bingo. Notice came in, and we were supposed to stop you from using your ice and using your water, and so they handled it very, very well. We are all residents of Sun City Center. Sometimes I'm very surprised because some of the people who have moved here from Sun City Center, they somehow forget that they're still residents of Sun City Center. And we do care what happens in Sun City Center. I would like to bring up Ellie Anderson. Ellie is going to tell you about a pending problem. You may agree with what she considers to be a problem, or you may not, but at least you should be aware of it.
Thank you, Ron, very much. My name is Ellie Anderson. I've lived in Sun City Center for the last 5 years, and I consider this community a slice of heaven, and we didn't have to die to get there. It's a very, very special place, and one of the things, there are many things that make it special, but one of the things that's under threat now are the golf courses and green spaces. We have a company from Canada that owns 7 of the 10 golf courses that are in the greater Sun City Center area. And those golf courses include the North Lakes Course, Calusa Greens, Sandpiper, Renaissance, Scepter, Kings Point Executive Course, and Falcon Watch. Of those, 3 are operating now. Sandpiper's closing effective June 1st. They presented their plan to develop on the golf courses, specifically Sandpiper, which is their primary target, and also the North Lakes Course and Calusa Greens. I think that the loss of that space and the rezoning of those areas would be a tragedy for our community. The green space represents, second only to the amount of residential development, the use of land in Sun City Center. And it's approximately 25% of the overall area of Sun City Center and Kings Point. So we want to do, as a community, everything we can to make sure that that doesn't happen. I am the founder of Save Sun City Center. It is a grassroots group that is working to make sure that rezoning does not happen. And Club Link has been emboldened by their success at the Woodlands in Tamarack, Florida. Last month, in their final of their zoning thing that has gone on for 5 years, they won at 2 a.m. in the morning in a vote that was 3-2. I don't want to see such a thing happen here. So we are very busy with a number of committees and folks working to make sure that we protect and preserve our golf courses. And we have plans for what could happen in the future, and I'd like to share all of that information with you. It's certainly too much for a 2-minute spiel here, but we're going to have a presentation on June 13th at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and I will take you through it from soup to nuts. I have lived and breathed this in every way that a human could for the last 14 months. It's actually the reason that I am now at Freedom Plaza. I did it a little too much. But I am very, very optimistic that if we have the support of the community, we can stop this. Out of the people that we've talked to, and we have gone door to door in Sun City Center, and no, we didn't get every door, but we got a lot of them. But out of every door that we knocked on where a person would speak to us, over 90% of the people are not in favor of development of these golf courses. We already have water pressure issues with our water. We have traffic issues with traffic. More people are going to mean slower EMS response time, a greater threat to property and life. It's just bad all the way around, however you look at it. Green space, trees, and wildlife are good for humans. And so we want to do everything we can to make sure that happens. So I would love to have you join us on June 13th. We'll be here in the auditorium, and I will take you through it soup to nuts. It'll be a very informative and sometimes funny presentation, so please, if your schedules permit, do join us. We'll have flyers that are coming out and more announcements in the weekly, but we'd very much like to see you there. We will be having petitions here. Judy Law couldn't make it this morning, but she has been working gathering petitions here, and we'll be doing more of that through the month of June and July, because your voice counts, and we really want to hear from you. Yes?
I have knowledge about this place called Blue Lagoon up by Wesley Chapel, and they made and filled this 16-acre pond with aquifer water. And I don't know how that was slipped by the community. And I think it's so important for people like you and your committee to watch over what is happening in every community.
Thank you. Just doing it here is a better than full-time job. But we are paying a lot of attention, and there are things going on in the community all the time. There is yes. There's a public hearing coming up regarding a daycare center that's going to go in by the golf cart path that goes to Walmart. You know, there are things going on in our community that if your ear isn't to the ground, a lot of these things just go by, and we certainly don't want this one to go by. So thank you.
Thank you. Before we close out the meeting, any other questions, anything we can answer for any of you? There's still some pastries left in the back of the room and coffee left in the back of the room. With all that, I thank you all for coming, and have a wonderful Memorial Day weekend, and thank you to all of those who have served.
Don't forget the service. Announce the service for Friday, for Memorial Day. Memorial Day tomorrow.
I don't have that flyer, so I don't want to make any mistakes, but everything will be available, I'm sure, on all our
5 o'clock Monday.
5 o'clock Monday. Service here in the auditorium. And thank you.